How's it going, everyone? Bass here. So in today's video, I wanted to go over my 3 make-or-break players for the Packers for the upcoming 2022 season. So basically what that means, if they don't show out this year, they'll either be replaced or cut in 2023. If you like these sort of videos and you are new here, please consider going down, clicking the subscribe button, and also leaving a like on the video to support my channel. I also did just open a Patreon for my channel. I have a lot of very cool things planned for that. So if you want to go check it out, just go down, click the link in the description. I plan on doing weekly Q&As on Fridays and things like that. So just go click the link down in the description. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the video. So for number 1 on this list, we have tight end Josiah Deguara, drafted in the 3rd round of the 2022 draft out of Cincinnati. And Josiah Deguara has been underwhelming so far in his career in Green Bay, to say the least. He's had an injury-riddled career so far with very limited play time. He played in 2 games in 2020 where he missed 2 games with an ankle injury, then tore his ACL in week 4 and missed the rest of the season. Although he did a lot better in 2021, only missed 1 game with a concussion. He totaled 25 receptions, 245 yards, and 2 touchdowns. A big improvement, but still not up to par with a second-year player that was drafted in the 3rd round. Now, last year basically was Deguara's first year, as his rookie season was kind of a redshirt season with all the injuries. But another injury-riddled season, or lack of snaps, lack of yards, lack of play time, may be it for him in the green and gold. Now, to begin, Deguara was a very interesting selection in that draft. He projects more of an H-back style tight end, not an inline vertical tight end. Teams like the 49ers have seen great success with players like this, such as Kyle Juszczyk, but Deguara has been far from that. Now, he is still on his rookie deal through 2023, but as we saw with Jace Sternberger, who was another 3rd-round tight end, they have no problem cutting ties with guys like that a year early. And Deguara's career is oddly going parallel as Jace's was as of now. Personally, I'm not really a fan of drafting tight ends high in the draft unless you have a guy like Kyle Pitts and he's just an athletic freak. Sure, go ahead and draft that guy, but I'm just not a fan of drafting them within the first 3 rounds. It just doesn't make much sense to me, but I do hope Josiah Deguara can put it all together and be a solid piece in the Matt LaFleur system, but I do believe this year is a last year for him to do so. For number 2 on my list, I have safety Vernon Scott, another player that has been disappointing so far in Green Bay, but he doesn't have the whole 3rd round selection held above his head. Scott was drafted in the 7th round of the same draft in 2020 and showed some decent promise his rookie year. A lot of us thought he would take a nice second-year jump last year and become the Packers' 3rd safety, but then he only received 8 total defensive snaps in 2021, which was 8% less than his rookie year. So the Packers clearly didn't like something with Scott, whether that be on the practice field or in person, enough to play him at all. And the Packers already had weak safety depth last year, so it was kind of a shock to not see him on the field at all. And I think they have even weaker safety depth this year. So I'm very interested to see who will become that 3rd safety. Will it be Vernon Scott, Carpenter, Sean Davis, Ennis Gaines, Trey Sterling? We really don't know. Each one of those guys actually have a wide open chance to take that role at this point. And if Scott doesn't earn that role or become a solid depth player on the defense or a very solid special teams player, this is definitely his last year for the Packers. So for the last player on my list at number 3, I have inside linebacker Chris Barnes. Chris was a player who shot onto the scene out of nowhere his rookie year, an undrafted free agent out of UCLA. He was pushed into a starting role week 1 against the Minnesota Vikings, where he impressed. He had 7 combined tackles and 2 tackles for loss. In Barnes' 2 years playing since, he's taken 52% of defensive snaps and 27% on special teams. And I think to this point, his play thus far can be described as inconsistent. Although he's had 80+ combined tackles in both years, a lot of the time he was nowhere to be found, and his coverage ability as a linebacker was just very lackluster. And with the emergence of Devondre Campbell last year coming onto the scene, becoming an all-pro linebacker, one of the better linebackers in the NFL, it made Barnes look even more expendable. Then fast forward to the draft this year, the Packers used their first selection in the 1st round on an inside linebacker in Quay Walker, so that should really tell you how they view Chris Barnes if they're willing to spend one of their 2 first rounds on an inside linebacker. Personally, I think Chris Barnes is a solid linebacker. I just don't think he really fits this Joe Barry defense. I think Joe Barry needs an athletic inside linebacker too, a fast, downhill athletic linebacker, someone like Quay Walker, so that's why I think he's kind of on his make-or-break year to impress. Without an impressive year on defense or special teams, he may just be pushed out the door at the end of the year. Rookie Quay Walker has seemingly already taken that inside linebacker 2 starting spot, and last year rookie Isaiah McDuffie may start to get more defensive snaps this year as well. Simply put, Chris Barnes could just be the odd man out. I will say, coming in as an undrafted free agent, he's been impressive because I don't think any of us even knew who he was at week 1 when he randomly got thrown into that starting role in 2020. So in that regard, he has been impressive. But as I said before, I just don't really think he fits the mold for a starting inside linebacker 2 in the Packers defense. Now, Barnes will be a restricted free agent next offseason, but that carries a minimum of a $2.6 million cap hit, which I don't think the Packers would end up paying for a 3rd or 4th string linebacker. So that's why I believe it is a make or break year for Chris Barnes in 2022. But that does it for my 3 make or break players for the Packers for this upcoming 2022 season. Do you agree with these 3? And also, if you have another player you're thinking of that is a make or break player for this year, just leave that down in the comments below. But that about does it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like down below. But I'll catch you on the next one. As always, go Pack Go.